Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today, guys, I'm gonna give you like a little mini match reaction to both Champions League games, Barcelona and PSG advancing. And what was a pretty entertaining game in both games. There's only one place to start, and that is the Dortmund 3 Barca 1. Now, here's the thing, guys. Were Barca good on the day? Of course not. We were terrible for majority of this game. But don't let this game make you think that Barca's a horrible team. We had just won the first like 4-0. So obviously coming into this game, we were going to have some complacency. Obviously, we're not going to be fully putting the best team out there because obviously we knew that the tie was practically done. But in football, and there's a famous saying, it's not over until it's over. And I think Dortmund realized that this was a great opportunity for them. The second leg being at home, having to do this comeback, mission impossible. And we can crap on Dortmund all you will. Dortmund have not been good this season in the league. There's a reason why this team is like eighth or ninth in the Bundesliga. But this team, when it comes to the Champions League, they show up. I mean, this is a team that's right now in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and you have to give full credit to them because what Garossi did in particular by scoring that hat trick was phenomenal. And let's be real, Garossi probably should have some goals in the first leg because he could have had those goals in the first half in particular when Dortmund created those chances, and maybe could have got a goal towards the end. So I just think for Barca in particular, man, we rotated obviously. Obviously, we didn't play Pedri in this game, and we saw without Pedri how bad this Barca midfield is. Because I'm sorry, with all due respect, Frankie De Jong and Gavi is just incompatible. And I just feel like if you want to see the best Barca midfield, you need to see Pedri. And people think that Rafinha's been Barca's best player, and rightfully so. I think Rafinha's been one of our key players. He's been amazing goal scoring wise statistically. But in terms of actual team, Pedri is more important than Rafinha because what Pedri brings is control and dynamism and creativity. And we see without Pedri, this team doesn't have any dynamism and creativity and control in the midfield. And I think that's why Pedri is super important. I feel like Pedri's having an underrated season. I feel like people are talking about Rafinha more, Yamal more, Lewandowski more, Balde more. I don't really think Pedri gets enough appreciation. I think he should as a Barca fan. And I just think that for me, Barca, man, defensively, we're atrocious. Obviously, Araujo played this game, and I'm sorry, with all due respect, Araujo is just a squad player. There's a reason why he's not been starting much this season. Obviously, he's been getting injured for a large part of the season, and whenever he has played, he's not made good clearances. Remember the game against Sevilla that we had a few months ago? He was responsible for the goal that Sevilla scored, and then today's game, he made an awful mistake there, awful clearance to give Garossi the hat trick there. And yeah, I just think for Barca, man, we were just not good on the day. Obviously, had a good spell of momentum there when we got the own goal there. But you could just tell with Barca, we just never really got going this game. We really didn't. And it's just a shame because obviously this game, I know we didn't take it that seriously, but it is kind of a disappointment to see how bad we were in this game. We just kind of advanced just by the skin of our teeth. And honestly, let's be real, this Dortmund team isn't that great. This isn't a good Dortmund team. This is a very mid average Dortmund team for their standards. And so the fact that we were able to struggle against them is shocking. And Yago Martinez didn't play this game. And the reason why he didn't play this game is because he was a yellow away for suspension. So Hansi Flick didn't want to take the risk at all, which made complete sense by resting the full game. And yeah, I just think for Barca said, man, credit to Dortmund. They should have won this game by a bigger margin. Szczesny was phenomenal today. He was probably our best player, making so many big saves to deny Dortmund there. And yeah, for Dortmund, as I said, man, what let them down was the defense. What they let them down was the defense. And this is always what Dortmund does. Like, they play such good, expansive football, but it's always the defense that lets them down. It's always the defense that lets them down. And for Dortmund, as I said, man, they're going to be feeling devastated that we could have maybe advanced to semifinals, which would have been incredible for them, especially from a losing position. But the defense, man, is just a calamity there. And for Barca said, man, we advanced by the skin of our teeth. And yeah, Szczesny gave away a penalty there. Grossi scored the penalty there, and the Grossi scored the header in the second half. I really felt like if Dortmund really, really wanted to do the comeback, they would have had to score 2 goals in the first half. But it is what it is. Barca, we made it through by the skin of our teeth, and we're gonna be playing against either Bayern or Inter in the Champions League semifinals. And I'm gonna say this right now, guys: if we see this kind of performance against Bayern or Inter, we will for sure get knocked out. So we're gonna have to make sure that we do not repeat this kind of performance again, um, anytime soon. Anyways, as we move to the other game we got here, guys, it is Aston Villa 3, PSG 2. Aston Villa, man, credit to Aston Villa. The first time back in the Champions League since 1982, and they put out a fantastic thriller against PSG. And a lot of people, when this draw was made, a lot of people said, oh, PSG is going to smash Villa. Villa have no chance here. I mean, look what PSG did to Liverpool. They knocked out one of the Champions League favorites. And while I did agree with some of the notion, I do feel like people need to respect Villa, especially at Villa Park. Villa at Villa Park is phenomenal. They rarely lose at home this season. And you have to give credit to Villa. They were able to keep their heads motivated and turned up for this game. Because when PSG took the early 2-0 lead, especially with Emery Martinez making a mistake there, I even tweeted out, this tie is done. Like, they're like, I'm sorry, the tie is done. Like, conceding an early goal like that, especially when your keeper makes a mistake, and who's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Emery Martinez, it's not looking good, you know. And obviously, Hakimi scored there, a great goal there, and then Nuno Mendes made it 2-0. It was a great counterattack there from PSG. Very, very good play there. I just okay, PSG man, congrats on the semifinals. But then Tielemans said otherwise and scored a goal there. Took a little deflection there off, I believe, of Pachko. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe Aston Villa can do something. And then in the second half, they scored a wonderful goal from there from again. I'm like, okay, Aston Villa now mean business. Then they scored the third with Konsa, with a great play there from Rashford to feed Konsa through. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, is Aston Villa really going to do this? And Aston Villa nearly made it 4-2. I think Rashford had a brilliant shot that was saved by Donnarumma. And guys, we have to give credit to Donnarumma because Donnarumma has been a keeper that's been heavily criticized. A lot of people don't really rate Donnarumma like that, but you have to give credit to Donnarumma. I thought he was phenomenal today. I think he made like massive saves a second. I think like 3 to 4 massive saves a second to keep Aston Villa, to keep PSG in it at bay. You could just think of yourself, okay, how will PSG do this? In a sense, you had a really big chance to score them. Then Emi Martinez also made a few big saves. But yeah, I mean, and then at the last minute of the game, Pachko with a brilliant clearance to deny, making it 5-5 on aggregate. So you got to feel heartbreaking for Aston Villa. They're going to feel devastated that we could have maybe done this against a PSG team that have been one of the best teams in the world this season. And it just shows that PSG, man, there's some flaws in this team. And I feel like these flaws are very evident, especially in the defense. And we saw Liverpool didn't really test their defense, if we're being real. So this PSG team, they are good. I'm not saying they aren't good, but there has to be some questions asked about the defense and the midfield in particular because I think Rashford beat Fabian Ruiz there to the ball. Not great defending there from PSG. So, but for PSG, man, it's now I think 4 Champions League semifinals in the last 6 years. I mean, that's pretty commendable. You have to give it to them. Like this is a really good record for a team that's never won the Champions League. But for PSG, man, we know that age doesn't matter. It's just about winning it. Is this the year they finally win the Champions League? Because for PSG, man, it's been many years, and I have to criticize Unai Emery there. Why did Watkins not start this game? Why are you taking Rashford off the 76th minute? I thought Rashford was brilliant. Remember, he got the assist there to make it 3-2. He should have stayed on. It's just mind boggling to me that Watkins finally came on, but he should have started this game, in my opinion, because we know how important integral Watkins has been to Aston Villa. So for Emery, man, maybe tactical decisions he could have done better. But at the end of the day, man, credit to Villa. You have to give credit to Villa because this is really impressive. To give a really good fight against PSG, a team that had eliminated the Champions League favorites in the previous round, is commendable in itself. You have to give a round of applause. And this is why the Champions League is undefeated, guys. It is the best club competition in the world. And yeah, there's a reason why the Champions League is going. So I hope you guys did enjoy this little mini reaction, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the in-depth reaction to all 4 games. Remember, guys, like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.